Hello, beautiful people. So it is Big Fire here, and if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment. But let's get into it. So this happened a while ago. I'm not on it as soon as possible, but better late than never. So Overwatch 2 had a Street Fighter 6 collaboration. It's been announced as like 8 skins, and it's very cool. As you can see, here's Cammy, who I believe is a skin for Widowmaker. And I know there's a jury skin as well, and there's, a bunch of other skins. But yeah, let's read this article from PC Gamer. Overwatch players freak out over supposed Widowmaker button, proving Marvel Rivals Gunner skins have wound back the clock 10 years. Well, you're nothing special. So, a very interesting title for this. Overwatch players freak out. Because that's quite a, saying someone freaks out is kind of like a very expressive like reaction, but I'll just say, maybe that's just the title, I guess. They're like over sensationalizing it. But let's see. Overwatch 2 has been officially announced in 8 new skins. They won't be able to dethrone Marvel Rivals by having a half-assed Cammy skin, one player says. Pun intended, if you know, you know. U-Bolt awaken your bed in May 24, 2016. Today is the day Overwatch releases. Future cannot come to pass. Overwatch must burn. I jest, but seeing players complain about the size of Widowmaker's butt in the new Cam skin has dragged me back to 2006 when all the controversy about Blizzard shrinking Tracer's rear was all anyone could talk about. I think it's very interesting where Blizzard was back then and where Blizzard is now. Because I think if Blizzard had the collab in 2016, then I 100% believe it would not be censored. 100%. But now everything in Blizzard is getting censored nowadays, so yeah. Just a couple of days after Overwatch first released in 2016, the devs had to cut a victory pose after fan backlash saying it was over-sexualizing the character. Triggered a whole new wave of complaints about censorship, but then resulted in a new victory pose being added, which still showed up because that's what really matters. I do remember this thing, and yeah, it was the beginning of the end for like how everything was going to be censored from now on. I thought we'd move on from breaking out the compass and ruler every time a hero gets released or has a new skin, but apparently not. I suppose Marvel Rivals has been defeating the Gooners as of late, so maybe we can point the blame over there. Wait, from breaking out the compass and ruler every time a hero released or has a new skin? I mean, okay, so I haven't really played Overwatch, so... But I feel like this hasn't happened a lot. Just from what I know about, like, the gaming community, I feel like this hasn't happened recently or like when every hero comes out. Like, I think this is just a straight up fabrication. I love Emma Frost and Eddie Shooter brought a whole new levels of revealing skins. Her default is already scantily clad. I mean, not really. Not really. Her default is scantily clad. I agree her actual evolution is. But her default, no way. Like, you must be like the purest of Puritans. But these kinds of skins aren't restricted to Frost. Invisible Woman and Namor also have tiny outfits that definitely cater to a certain section of the audience. Thankfully, while there are a weird number of complaints about Blizzard censoring Widowmaker's Cammy skin as players have become emboldened by Marvel Rivals' unabashed approach, there are more players willing to see the funny side in all of this. I think it's weirdly... I think it's weird that, well, actually, I mean, it's not really weird. I think there just should be more complaints, honestly. Because companies should not get away with not giving you what you want, okay? That's the problem at the end of the day. You're expecting a skin from Cammy, who we all know what she looks like, and you're not getting it. Not because of ESRB rating, not because of, any other reason other than the ideology of the people at Blizzard, okay? Because Marvel Rivals, which has literally the same ESRB rating as Overwatch, see T14, can make an Emma Frost skin, they can make a Psylocke skin, which is similar to the Cammy skin, since, they're both like leotards, except Cammy skin is like skimpier, because you can see like basically a whole behind. But even if they censored it to like Psylocke levels, at least I could say like, you know, maybe it's the ESRB rating holding them. Actually, no, that still wouldn't make sense because Street Fighter 6 is also rated T13. Yep, it's T13. So yeah, they could put it in, but it's just ideological. Let's see, the weird number of complaints about Blizzard censoring Widowmaker's camera skin. Wait, Widowmaker's Cammy skin as players have become emboldened by Marvel rivals on a bash approach. There are more players willing to see the funny side in all of this. In response to someone complaining about Blizzard, how Blizzard ruined the Cammy skin, one player jokes, "Why won't Blizzard think of the Gooners?" Yeah, I think that's like the go-to approach for defending censorship is like to call the people against censorship names, because you can't really defend censorship, because if you were to ask the player base, would you want censorship or not censorship, obviously they would pick not censorship, like objectively speaking. So the fact that they have to attack the people shows that the argument is weak. Others jump in saying that none of this is a big deal. If it's not a big deal, why is it censored? Like, we could just push that the other way. If it's not a big deal, why is it censored in the first place? And we know it's not censored because of the ESRB rating, so why is it censored? And it's pretty commonplace when it comes to games collabing with other brands. Fortnite did the same thing. Fortnite doing the same thing doesn't really like justify it, because it's also bad in Fortnite. Like, Fortnite should also not be doing that, because Fortnite is also rated T13, and I'm against them doing it there as well. It's fine. You won't die because you can't see a video game character's ass fully. I mean, even if the censorship was less than that, you would justify it. And like I said, if it's not a big deal, why is it censored in the first place? And it seems like no one can really justify it, because none of this justifies it. It's just that it's not a big deal, even though it's a big deal enough for us to change it. And the whole idea behind this collab is to sell to fans of the Street Fighter characters or the Street Fighter characters designs. And in that, we will change the design to make it less appealing to the people who are trying to sell, who we are trying to sell it to in the first place. So it just objectively makes no sense. Like, you like the Street Fighter characters, but we will change them to make it less appealing to you. Because if you like the Street Fighter characters, then you most likely would like them in their most iconic outfits. And that is the Cammy's most iconic outfit. And naturally you would like it uncensored, because, you know, if you liked it censored, then you wouldn't like be a fan of the design in the first place. But yeah, all of these are like terrible arguments. It also shows that like the games media is still pro censorship, because PC Gamer is not like a small gaming like outlet. I mean, it's a small like gaming news thing. I'm pretty sure they were like one of the judges at like the Game Awards. Like, they're big enough to have like some level of influence on like, you know, things like the Game Awards. So they are it's like a pretty big deal. But yeah, that's my thing about this whole Street Fighter 6 censorship. It's complete bunk, and yeah, they shouldn't be doing this. But thank God for Marvel Rivals, by the way. Thank God for Marvel Rivals. Because Marvel Rivals, people call it a Gooner game and stuff, and, you know, I would throw all those people's opinions in the trash. But Marvel Rivals can make a skin like this. They can have a Kami skin and have skins that aren't like sexy at all as well. Like, they have freedom to do whatever they want, while, you know, Overwatch and Fortnite have to like keep feeding you PG skins. They have to give you like the 4Kid skins, and you got to deal with that. You know, you got to deal with the you know, BS ideology instead of just getting what you want. Because like I said, if we put it to a vote, the player base would unanimously vote uncensored, and everyone knows that. So you just got to ask why you're not getting what you want, and we all know the reason why. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you later.